Let me put that on there. And let's go. Right, okay. We're going. There we go. Right. Let's have a look. Hello. It's been a little while. Right, let me just move this out of the way so I can see what I'm looking at. So, hello everyone. How are we all doing? Hopefully we're doing all right today. On this Saturday night, we can't skip out on the Saturday stream, can we? I've just moved this, so let me know if it's any better. This microphone, I have moved it around a little bit, so it should sound a little bit crisper than it did before. I'm just gonna put this on so I can actually see something. Should light things up in the background a bit better as well. So yeah, we're going to be looking at the latest data. I haven't done anything like this for a little while. We're going to look at the latest data. I have seen a bit on the strap, by the way, in case anyone's interested. And we'll be running through everything in due course. But yeah, hopefully everyone's having a nice Saturday. I can see plenty of you in the chat. I'll be having a read, going through. Oh, I like this new feature. There's like a little blue dot, if you can see it there, for moderators, which is really cool. Yeah, we'll get straight on with things. I'll be my normal self as well. So, if anyone was like questioning that before, yeah, then we're gonna be our normal self. Well, I almost missed you. Crazy power cuts in home Firth. Really, Shane? Hello to you, by the way. Power cuts. Wow, I'm surprised actually. I thought they had a pretty good infrastructure there. Oh, it can be anything though, can't it? Right, let me just bring that up so I can actually. I didn't have the website opened up, and Pigeon is very vocal today. I have to warn you. So you'll have to get used to that today. Right, let me just make sure that everything is good. And I know I should have had it all sorted. I do basically. It's just that's all. So let's see if that works fine. And then zoomy in. There you go. And we should be good to go. Hello to Lee. I've just seen your message as well. Sorry, I didn't see you at the start. Hello to Lee Stevens. Hopefully you're doing all right. The moderators come up blue-coloured in the chat too. Yeah, they do now. It's pretty good what they've done. I'm just going to pull this chat up so I can actually read it as we go along. But yeah, this is the first I've seen of the charts in a few days. This is the latest 12 Ed runs. Yeah, we'll have a quick read through the chat, get straight on with things, and have a good stream. If you do enjoy the content on the channel, consider leaving a like and subscribing. If you're new around here, we are on the road to 4,000, so get on it. Right, we've got plenty of names now. I'll have a quick read. Laura was the first in. Training It Show. We've got Laura Hare as well, 2 Lauras. Hello to you as well. Frogleg saying it's a wet day again. Yeah, it is a wet day. Evening to Earth Heart again, but it looks like it might dry out as seen in my title. No clickbait from me today. No one to wind up. Anyway, hello to Beans on Toast. I always say it's a class name, and it still is. Brandon Anne Smith is in it. I haven't seen you around for a while. Hello to you, Anne. Hopefully you are doing well in a probably wet York, let's say. Let's just guess. Although, to be fair, it's been a bit on and off today. I think it's rained on and off here. Do not think that I'm doing out with them hand symbols. Hello to Mark as well. How are you? Hopefully all is well. Yeah, it's all not too bad at the moment. Of course, I shouted out Big Shane or Shane Marsh. Got John as well, and also to Andrew on the moderator team as well for being here. Lee, thank you very much for the super chat, Lee. Buy yourself some Tunnocks tea cakes. yeah, I certainly will. I'm going to see, have I got any? I don't think we've got any in the house. So, yeah. Thank you very much, Lee. I do appreciate it. Hello to Tim S as well. I'll you know what? I'll eat a Tunnocks tea. I'll get one from the co-op or whatever. I'll go and get one next time I'm out. I'll review one on the next video. How's about that? Hello to Foxfight Plays. Dylan Miller as well. Dandy is in here as well. No SSW. I know it fell apart at the last minute from what I've seen. Danny saying, hello all, please can you put a stop to all this rain, Matthew? I'll try my best, alright? I'll try my best. MJRC, hello to you, mate. I'm off up to the Highlands, enjoy it. Just north of Inverness this time next week. You're near James's shed there. Hoping for some cold, nice one. You're from Grimsby, hello to you. Well, it's looking pretty chilly up there at the very least. I think you probably will see some snow. And obviously we've got James up there who will be able to to check. Zippy Parrot said hello to Pigeon. Well, he's just behind me. I know you can't see him, but he's literally right there. As I always say, if you're new around here, he's literally sat right there, looking at the camera like, I'm not in, but I want to be there. Yeah. Yeah, we should be. Might be getting cold Feb. You should meet him up. Yeah, hello to Bradley Williams as well. Might be getting a cold Feb, possibly. Going survival camping on the 14th and 15th. Sounds fun, Brandon. Hopefully you enjoy it. We're up to 50 viewers. That's pretty damn good for a return stream. Thank you all. Seeing as there's not much going on. Hello to Finn as well. Right, let's stop. Let's have a quick sip of tea. If you haven't seen this mug, warning, I may start talking about the weather, which is exactly what we're going to do. So let's just have a quick sip. And that will do. Right. Send it's a bit rusty here. So he haven't been doing the forecast for a few days. Right. I have still been watching the models, though. With interest, I must say. Look around the 13th of Feb, 11th, 13th of Feb. See what's going on. Anyway. Let's start. Low pressure is moving in from off the Atlantic and is continuing to do so. That has been the trend. However, heights are still strong up towards Greenland, but as you can see, low pressure systems to the west, the Atlantic, are still powered up. So, we are continuing to see an Atlantic-driven southwesterly flow with areas of low pressure pushing in. The real interest begins around the 13th of February as that area of low pressure clears to our east towards Denmark. Eventually, you can see heights are slightly out to the west, but that's not the important factor. As this low pressure clears to the east, we've got cold north to northwesterly winds taking hold again. Excuse me. And as you can see, colder air begins to sink southwards. Now, this little kink here represents a weather front. That's marking the boundary between the mild or the less cold air and the cold air. So as you can see, that slides through the UK. We do get a brief ridge building through the country, but with this GFS run, which may bring a little bit of interest, and I'm not going to say too much because it is still 9 days out in this sort of pattern. This GFS 12Z run, the American model, brings in an area of low pressure on a northwest-southeast alignment. The jet stream is going towards France, or the south of France, I should say, carrying the low pressures with it, sending it south, I guess, sending the low pressure south. And you can see there's an area of low pressure sliding through the south coast there into the channel. That's like a channel low sliding through there. And as you can see, the -5 line, the threshold for colder air, is across the UK. So that could be a south coast snow event, were that to verify. Now, moving on beyond that, to beyond day 10, an area of low pressure is pushing through, well, let's just say the West Midlands, parts of Wales, pushing through there. We've got plenty of colder air wrapped in. Anywhere could see snow with that. There's no marginality with that. You can see anything in that green, it can still snow, but if you're in that lighter green, this lighter shade here, with this is the -5 line, that is where it can actually properly snow. There's no like marginality with it normally. Into the extended range, so that's pretty interesting. So maybe something to watch, but again, it's beyond the reliable time frame, so we'll keep you posted. But again, higher pressure is ridging out in the Atlantic, and you can see brief westerly, northwesterly airflow, so slightly cooler. Not much cold air, though, to the north. Before, into the very extended range, we're trying to send it to Greenland, and turn things colder, which we do sort of, but it's not quite enough, really. It's a northwesterly tilt. We want a proper northerly to shoot the cold down. I mean, that don't say any more about that. Winter ain't done yet. It might not be. Any snow for Bodmin Moor? Well, let's see. Let's have a look. Let's have an honest look. Let's have a look. Here we go. Right, if we have a look on the 16th of Feb, Bodmin Moor's quite high up, so if we have a look here, this low pressure system on the 16th is sliding through the south. If it's sliding through the south coast like this, if it actually did this, you would expect snow possibly to here. So Somerset and Bristol would be the northernmost point because the low pressure is quite small. It's not very, well, it is quite developed, but it's quite small. So you'd expect possibly snow to as north as Bristol with that. So pretty interesting. I'll show you the precip in a minute, but possibly, I wouldn't rule it out, the chance of something interesting. Now, that low pressure going beyond that on the 18th of Feb is a bit far further northwards. So, again, there's a snow risk with that for the northern edge, probably the Midlands northwards in particular, but you couldn't rule it out to like Northamptonshire and north of Somerset. But there you go. Right. Let's see how the other models compare as well, and I'll bring up the precip so we can have a quick look at the GFS run with that precip and see what it is forecasting. So as you can see with the GFS run, we get the area of low pressure clearing through the east. We'll actually go from the beginning. How's about that to be a unbiased forecaster? So let's have a look. Sunday is a drier day on average, but still quite wet for Scotland with a couple of patchy showers. There's a few patchy showers around through the evening on Sunday, but nothing too crazy. Certainly a lot drier than it has been as of late. Monday into Tuesday, we've got bits of rain moving in, particularly for the west and southwest. And then on Tuesday, it's a very wet afternoon, evening, with a big area of rainfall moving in from the west. That's going to bring plenty of widespread rainfall for many parts of the country, giving even more unsettled conditions. And then, as you can see, there's that area of low pressure clearing to the east towards Denmark, and behind that we're bringing the wind back in from a northerly direction. That's the favoured pattern at the moment. Of course, that's subject to change, as we've seen many, many times. But you can see showers of rain, sleet and hill snow moving southwards. Across Scotland, colder air is established, so any showers across Scotland will be of a wintry nature. But you can see going beyond that, you can see a bigger event there on Saturday. Plenty of snow mixed in, but a bit of rain as well. So very low levels, and of course along the east coast with those slightly higher sea surface temps. So a bit of a mixed bag there, but plenty of snow potential if this came off through Saturday into Sunday. And then there's that low pressure system, like I mentioned before, making its way a little bit further northwards with the snowfall. I would expect it to be something like this. But you can see quite heavy snow on its northern edge. Obviously, I won't take it too literally because it is a GFS run, and it is the worst run ever for verifying. But you can see there was a bit of potential there for some snow in the south. And then moving forward to Tuesday, we've got that area of low pressure moving in from off the Atlantic, struggling and stalling, and that can bring quite persistent snow to parts of the country. It does eventually slide southwards, and we're back into northerly winds. So quite wintry there. I mean, I won't take that too literally, that chart, but you can see snow for the Republic of Ireland, snow for the southern half of the Republic of Northern Ireland, I should say. Parts of the Wales, the Midlands, East Anglia, even as far south as London there. Not sure about that one. Seeing snow there. Dew point, you want to be at 0 or below, and with this sort of pattern, if it's at 0, there you go. So London would most likely be rain because it's between 0 and 2. Best dew point is 0, so that would be, Southern Midlands northwards, I suppose. The Midlands north would be a general guide, which it normally is. You see some very cold dew points in there, so it will feel pretty chilly were that run to come off. Now let's move on to the GM, because I've rambled on for about 50 minutes about one run. Let's move on. Might be Somerset on 17th, that'd be nice. Been saying the last few years it's like winter is longer. It is, because it certainly extends a lot of the time into April now, the cold, normally. My solar garden lights are not having it. I'm in Sallybridge, Greater Manchester. Oh, nice one. I don't know how you expect me to respond to that, but hello to you. I'm from Barnsley, so yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to be a thingy there. By the way, don't take offence from me saying it like that. I just don't know how to respond. Anyway, so I don't know what I'm saying. Right, low pressure is moving in from off the Atlantic, keeping things unsettled for the first half of this week. Into the second half, the area of low pressure clears towards Denmark. Wind switch into a northerly with the GM. It's a good model consensus. So we get quite a potent northerly wind, nothing too ridiculous though. The area of low pressure I just showed you crossing the south coast, the English Channel, on the GFS, is, well, towards Spain and France, southern France, on the GM run. There you go, it's nowhere near the UK, and that will be quite typical. We do get an area of low pressure dropping in from the north, a bit of a polar low there, around, well, the 15th of Feb. National Hippo Day, if anyone's interested. There's a fun fact for you. Yeah, it looks quite, well, it could be a bit wintry, that, with the weights dropping in from the north on the 15th. So bit of wintry potential around before we can see high pressure building back to the south, winds about to revert into a westerly once again. I would show you the GM precip, but do not take this chart seriously, because if you do, well, you're going to be very disappointed with what this is going to show. Like, let's skip forward. There you go. Countrywide snow event with that little low pressure on the 14th. And yeah, actually not as bad as I thought it would be, because there's plenty of wintry risks in there as well. Then we've got the ECMWF, apparently the best verifying model run. Good evening all. Hello to you, Metsuit. Hopefully you are all right. Metsuit, tagging like a sorry. Right, moving on. ECM, sorry. Low pressure's moving in from off the Atlantic, continuing to do so. And by Wednesday, that low pressure's clearing to the east, and the winds are switching into a northerly direction, turning colder for all again. See, the origin of the isobars is from Scandinavia, so it's a pretty cold wind direction. Brr. And you can see colder air sink southwards by Friday the 13th. Goes away very quickly, of course, with the ECM, because it's the ECM. Brief ridge build through the country on the 14th. Not making too much of it, to be honest. A very, very brief and transient cold snap with the ECM. Nothing to really get excited about, which is why I didn't put it in the title. Yeah, very, you know, it could bring a few wintry showers to northern England and parts of Scotland, of course. But aren't they used to it already? You know, the Highlands, you know. Haven't they seen enough of this winter? Bloody hell. Right. Yeah, why not? Let's do... This is the last forecast I looked at. Hello to Evening. Hello to Risk OS. Hopefully you are okay as well, Martin. Hopefully you are doing all right. Let me have a click through. It's tough in Barnsley. It's usually mega cold in March in Carlisle. We've had pretty decent snow events in March. They probably get our best snow of the winter normally. So yeah. That's that. Let me have a look down here. Beans on toast, if the roads are clear, it's fine. The snow won't last long. It won't last long, yeah. Right, this is the GFS ensembles for Luton. Do not ask why this is the last. It's someone in the Discord. If you know, you know. If you go up to the 12th of Feb, we are above average with the upper temperatures, and there are some precipitation spikes indicating unsettled conditions, particularly around the 11th, which will be Wednesday. Looking beyond that, you can see that very brief cold snap showing up around the 13th, between the 13th and the 15th of Feb. Very brief, though. And going beyond that, you can see temperatures remaining below average. So possibly the cold spell could be extended longer than a couple of days. But again, it's too far out to say very confidently. The GFS are still focusing SSW about the 13th of February. Got to be honest, Uggin, great name by the way. It's on its own. I am not favouring, and I never have really favoured an SSW, sudden stratospheric warming, because it's not really been consistent enough to show it, I guess, is the right word. I've definitely lived through climate change, and all the scenes are different, but I'm not a global warming believer, just a natural cycle. Well, yeah. If I say something, I'll get shouted at. So, you know, we'll just say impartial. I think that's the best way to be, but I'm sure a few people know my thoughts. Anyway, let's see. So, yeah, we're looking below average from around the 13th onwards, possibly return towards average, but on the GFS ensembles, at the very least, it's looking below average from the 13th onwards. Maybe a cold second half to February if being favoured. The snow spikes for Luton, you got to remember it's a low-lying location, and it's on the floor. It's, you know, there's a few spikes showing up. Nothing to get excited about, I guess. But there's a few spikes showing up, so I guess even in the south, you couldn't rule it out. I will say there's been a lot of people ruling out winter and saying, that's it, it's done. I think it's still got one last little moment. But again, it's been a big disappointment again for many of us, I'm sure. Unless you obviously like the unsettled weather and drier interludes at times through December and that. But overall, it's been a pretty poor winter, hasn't it? Besides, unless you live in the north of Scotland, James has shared, even Aberdeenshire, where they've seen upwards of 80 centimetres on some days. So, yeah, been a pretty wild winter up there, but a pretty disappointing one down here. So wait, I mean, we're all like mad at that. Yeah, I know, but I've got to be thingy with YouTube's rules sometimes, and yeah, I'm a global coolist because we are in an ice age warm period. Yeah, possibly. Not believing in climate change is bad. Yeah, I'll say no more. Apparently, when it gets cold, snow is expected to be on eastern coast. Yeah, it is. It typically is. You've got to remember that the airflow, let me see if I can bring up a chart for you to illustrate it well. Got to think, right, when you get a northerly flow like this, which is very brief, by the way, north-northeasterly airflow, look at the isobars. So you can see there's one isobar here, and that's crossing through eastern parts. If you think about it, that's like the coast there, isn't it? So this area here is the prime position. The east and the southeast and the northeasterly flow are the most likely, as well as the north, which it basically covers. You can see there. Also, a little kink in the isobars with the GFS, which would indicate possible longer spells of snow across parts of Scotland, because kinks in the isobars indicate little features showing up at short notice. So yeah, James Shed sounds like a dance club. Can't beat a bit of snow. Shut up. Shut up, yo. Shut up. You can't say that. You said, I hate snow a few days ago. Not a few weeks ago now. I remember you saying that in the stream. What about SSWS again? Well, I'll have a look. Let me bring it up for you. Ignore the things on this. The Send It's Fake account. That's not me, by the way. That's a friend of the channel. Definitely not. Anyway, let's have a look over here. And let's go over here. And we'll have a look. Right. GFS operational run. It's still forecasting a sudden stratospheric warming, as somebody kindly mentioned to me. Warming takes place over the North Pole, penetrates towards the polar vortex. I hate that word. One lobe goes towards Siberia, one lobe goes towards Alaska. That's the technical SSW. If we have a look, and we actually look at the data, and we go to weatheriscool.com, which gives you the latest. There you go. There's your bit. Polar vortex data. SSPV is currently stronger than average, but is forecasted to weaken compared to average. And 6 go a stronger than average polar vortex. The probability of a strat warming in the GFS is 6%. 6. So, not great. It's a lot. Oh, just got a right jolt in my throat there. Sorry, everyone. Ow. That really hurt. Yeah, the probability is 6%. So it's not exactly looking great, is it? Ow, that really hurt. It's not looking great at all, to be honest, for a strat warming, which is why I didn't really go for it, to be honest, as many of you will know. So that's kind of that, really. It's not looking great. If we have a look at the ECM, for cross-model consensus, which is what we like to see. Well, this is a bit of a flip. I hadn't actually seen this, but yeah, it's stronger. Well, I say stronger. It's weaker than average, but nowhere near sun strat warming levels. It's down here, nowhere near it. So I'd rule it out, to be honest. No strat warming. Then the cold's looking later on. Need a neck? I do not need a neck brace. Yeah. Good thing there's no strat warming for North Pole. Yeah, exactly. South Stream, I could see it was shifted last summer. Yeah, it has been quite southerly tracked again. So, yeah. Pretty interesting to see. Boring wet. Yeah, Tim's. It's pretty, well, it's just wet, innit? It's wet, cold, wintry at times as well. For some, yeah, but overall it's pretty uneventful. So, I think, to be honest, that I've ran through everything that I had. It's been a brilliant stream, though. Nice. Decently busy stream as well, considering that I've had a few days off. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, people are making up these strange theories that I'm doing it for other people. No, I do this channel for myself. If I want to take a break, I will, which is what I did, and I'm feeling a lot better now with things. So, expect regular uploads. Expect regular uploads for sure. Pigeon's going to be joining me in for all of them. I almost failed SSW, it really is. It looked strong, didn't it? But it's not now. But yeah, expect a lot more videos from me. Again, not ramping up cold or out like that. Just whatever is going on is what I'll be forecasting, of course. So, yeah. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little stream. We've got all of you chatting as well and had some interesting takes on things. And yes, it could be getting colder and possibly wintry. Obviously, Midlands northwards is the most likely suspects, but don't be surprised to see any surprises. Sent it being held at gunpoint. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'll just say what I want, to be honest. Yeah. Say, I always stay original. Yeah, exactly. That's not going to change. Who I am is who I am. If you think I'm going to modify, then leave, because I'm not. So, yeah. Let's get to 4K subs. That's right, James. Positive attitude. Let's do it before the end of the winter. See you later, everyone. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.